Welcome back, everybody. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. And today we're going to be talking about the origins of the Star Wars galaxy. If you guys want to see daily Star Wars videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So this isn't the first video in the Star Wars timeline series. The first video we talked about the Jedi Order and the birth of that. And I wanted to go back before that and just tell you about the creation of the galaxy itself. So let's just go ahead and dive right into it. If you guys do want to see the first few videos in the series, I will put them at the end of the end of this video and in the description down below. So the galaxy was formed 13 billion years before the Battle of Yavin, and it was created from the Big Bang. Around 5 billion years, the first life within the galaxy developed on Goroth Prime, and around 10 million years, the planet Vensoth would be struck by an asteroid that destroyed almost all life on the planet. The remaining survivors would eventually evolve into the Chevan species, the first sentient beings. The Chevan were a nomadic species that had skin that could adapt to all environments on the planet. Around 2 million BBY, on the planet of Kashyyyk, the Wookiee species began to evolve into tree climbers. And during this time period, many planets would begin to develop and sentient beings would emerge. The Zhel would become one of the most dominant of the early species. They were the early ancestors of the humans and inhabited the planet of Notron, which would later be known as Coruscant. The Zhel consisted of 13 nations, and their combined military force was known as the Battalions of Zhel. They would battle the indigenous Tong species for centuries, struggling for control of the planet. At some point in time, a great volcanic eruption would decimate the Battalion of Zhel's main city, with ash and smoke. It was so dense and widespread that it blocked out the light from the sun, almost causing them to become extinct. The darkness lasts for about 2 years, and the Tong used it to their advantage. They viewed the smoke and shadow as a symbol, and called themselves the Warriors of the Shadow, and would take control of Coruscant. However, their victory would be short-lived. The Zhel would recover from their near extinction and drive the Tongs off-world, claiming Coruscant for themselves. The Tong would flee to the planet Rune in the Outer Rim until they would invade Mandalore hundreds of thousands of years later. Around 100,000 BBY, the Celestials, also known as the Architects, began their reign over the galaxy. They were believed to be responsible for creating a large number of artifacts and even planetary systems. Their identities are a mystery due to the lack of information on them, but their technology shows they were a powerful alien species. Some say they had been around since the beginning of time, and that they merged with the Force, guiding and interfering with galactic history. The Jedi and Sith theorized that the balance between the light and the dark side was under the guidance of the Celestials, and that their powers were beyond the understanding of mortal beings. Thurhu, the oldest of the Killik hives from Alderaan, claimed to remember seeing the Ones, a group of Force wielders who were related to the Celestials. The father, son, and daughter that reside on Mortis that we see in the Clone Wars are the Celestials that are referred to in legends. Now, of course, in canon, this has never been confirmed. The Celestials were feared throughout the galaxy and would capture many races that would become slaves. Among them were the Killiks of Alderaan, the Kwa of Dathomir, and the Rakata of Lahan. Together, the Celestials and their slaves would create Centerpoint Station, a massive space station that was capable of moving entire planets with its tractor beam. It was also able to shoot a beam down and destroy planets like the Death Star. Using Centerpoint stations, they were able to create the Corellian system, along with many others. An ancient creature known as Ungol Ungol claimed to have witnessed the golden age of the Celestials. It believed they had created the hyperspace anomalies that bisected the galaxy and separated it to isolate invaders. They prevented travel beyond the Outer Rim into the unknown regions, and it was speculated they were responsible for setting up a barrier on the edge of the galaxy to defend against any outside interference. Yes, the Celestials could literally shape the galaxy any way they wanted to. They were essentially gods. Now there is the story of Abeloth, who is the mother of the son and the daughter, but is not a Celestial. She was a human who drank from the fount of power and the pool of knowledge, giving her the powers of the dark and the light side of the Force. Now that story deserves its own video, so stay tuned for that. I will try and get it out within a week, that way you guys can get a little more context on the Celestials. But for the sake of this video, I will give you a quick overview. Basically, she was responsible for causing great destruction and was deemed a threat by the Celestials themselves. The father and his children created the Maw black hole cluster to imprison her using Centerpoint Station. Now, throughout time, scientists believed that the Celestials created about 17 star systems and were responsible for seeding the core worlds with life and creating the galaxy that we know. Now, how did the reign of these gods come to an end? By 30,000 BBY, the Celestials were nowhere to be found, and the Rockaton Empire had taken center stage in the galaxy. Their fate is unclear, but it seems the Rockatons and other slaves revolted against them, successfully driving them beyond their borders and past the edge of the galaxy. But another theory is that the Celestials completed their mission by constructing the galaxy for the Force, and planting the seeds of life throughout it. After the Rakata proved they were worthy successors, they would then leave the dimension entirely until they were needed again. Darth Plagueis believed the Celestials were a higher order of the Force that guided events of the galaxy. Around 90,000 BBY, a metropolis known as Galactic City would engulf the planet of Coruscant. Buildings were built on top of buildings, creating an infrastructure never seen before. It became the main trade center of the galaxy, but would fall victim to the mighty Rockaton Empire around 30,000 BBY. That then leads us to the events of the Tho-Yor and the creation of the Jedi Order, which is the first episode in my Star Wars timeline series. Now, this probably should have been the first video, but hey, that's alright. In the next episode, I will be covering the rise of the Rockaton Empire and the invasions of Coruscant and Korriban. Now, the timelines will overlap with the Jedi Order videos, so I'll make sure to let you guys know in the videos whenever I do overlap the timelines. I just don't want to skip from one story to the next in just one video. I think that if a story should be summed up in its own video, that I shouldn't just skip around into other timelines and stuff. So I'll try and keep the story in one video so that way it just doesn't get too confusing. So I hope you guys are enjoying the Star Wars timeline series, and if you are, please let me know down in the comment section below, and also tell me if you guys knew about the Celestials before watching this video. I'm also just trying to get a gauge of what you guys enjoy seeing the most, and what type of playlist you want to see, what type of series you want to see. I'm trying to do like a bunch of different things, that way I can gauge what you guys enjoy seeing. So just let me know down below. And of course, guys, if you did enjoy this video, if you could go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me, it helps spread the video out to other people that can hopefully enjoy it. And if you want to see daily Star Wars videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, guys. Thank you for everything. The support has been absolutely incredible. I enjoy talking to you guys in the comment section every single day. It makes my day. I appreciate everything you guys do for me. I will see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day.